Hey friends, happy Friday. Welcome to Coffee Talk with Ashley and Locke. He always takes a couple minutes to come on because the clocks are different. Today is going to be something different. Usually we do a question and a quote. Today, my husband is going to be asking me questions. And he kind of read them to me, but I have no clue all the questions. There he is. So this is as real as it's gonna get. And there he is. I'm not always the greatest with on the spot questions. I'm a thinker, so wish me luck. Hello, dear.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, I made it.
You made
You
it.
ready?
I am ready.
So, what are we doing today? We're mixing it up today.
Yeah, that's what I just say. We're mixing it up. I'm being asked questions. So this,
Yeah, well, I think we're gonna ask each other questions, but I have the list of questions. I hold the power in my hands. So if you're nice, I'll ask you the nice questions, and if you're mean, I'll just ask you the embarrassing ones.
I don't think I'm usually mean. I don't know.
Fair enough. Fair
Maybe.
enough. Sometimes you can be, but
Yeah,
fair enough.
I think we all can be sometimes.
Yes. Yes. All right, you ready? So
Um,
I think we're gonna do like rapid fire. Um,
Rapid fire.
like quick questions, quick answers. Don't have to go deep, but obviously you can if you want. You want like a serious one or you want a silly one first?
I don't just do.
All right. All right. Who who inspires you?
um, like right now or through my life.
Yes.
Okay.
Whatever you want. Just give us the first answer that comes to mind. Don't put too much thought into it.
Well, I think over time it's been different people at whatever season of my life I'm in. I think a lot of people inspire me. I don't think it's just one person. I think it's whatever qualities that I'm trying to um, match, like whatever qualities I want to take on. If somebody else has those qualities, then I will follow. It's usually very honest people, humble, and um, not afraid to say what they're feeling and hold back. So right
Yeah.
now, they're the people that inspire me.
Cool. That reminds me of it's a Byron Katie. I don't want to say quote or saying or thought process.
Hmm.
And she talks about how if you don't know who Byron Katie is and you're watching this, she's worth looking up if you want to improve yourself.
Yeah.
But she talks about how the things that frustrate you, anger you, annoy you, whatever word you want to use in other people are frustrating you. The thought process is, it's a little bit of a process to get there, but the thought process is, it's frustrating you and other people because it's present in you.
Yeah.
And you and I have had conversations about the flip side. The extension of that is the things that you admire in other people. You admire because they're in you.
Yeah.
Maybe you need to work on them, or they're a little hidden, or whatever. Maybe not. Maybe you're just being hard on yourself. But it makes me think of that. And I think you added in a conversation we had, the advice that you want to give other people is usually advice that you should take yourself. That was
Yeah.
always one I thought was interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Next question. If you could have a superpower, what would it be? And you can't say X-ray vision.
I feel like I've had this conversation with our kids, and
Yeah, probably.
I've had like a silly answer, or it was like if you could fly, or like have X-ray vision. For this one, I honestly don't know. Like I don't know. Um,
I would fly. I would be able to fly.
Really, why?
I don't know, because it would be cool. Was that? Do I need to explain myself on this show? It would be fun to fly. I've always loved birds. I think flying in planes has always been cool for me, but slightly nerve wracking. And I think that's more of a control. Like I'm not the one flying thing. So I think flying would be really cool.
I think if there was some way to have some kind of superpower where you could mirror back to people the things
Yeah.
that they don't realize I don't want to say need to fix or should fix, because I think there's a lot of stuff that we're doing that we don't realize we're doing, and if only it could be like, I know our kids mirror back to us, but most people don't see that or want to see that. If you could, like, quite literally, I could be someone's mirror and they were like looking at themselves like for a day, 24 hours. I think that would be a pretty cool superpower, because you would be able to
Scare
see.
them.
I mean, yeah, you would see your qualities too. You would see your qualities, but you would also see things that might want to work. So,
Yeah, it would be a different perspective. That's a cool idea. I didn't
yeah,
think about that. In some ways, we have that power right now, but I think you're talking like 100% copy.
yeah,
I think we mirror, like we just talked about, what annoys us and other people is annoying us because it's present in ourselves. So,
yeah.
but that's a very interesting answer. I didn't think of that one. All right. Are there, are there any household chores that you secretly enjoy?
I mean, I wouldn't say that I enjoy. I don't think I enjoy any of the house
You don't
chores.
enjoy changing diapers?
I mean, that's not a chore. That's a parent. That's parenting. That's not a chore.
Yeah, but that counts. I mean, I wouldn't say I enjoy it, but that counts as a chore.
I mean, there's things that I don't mind as much as other things. Like, I don't mind doing laundry. Like, laundry doesn't bother me. I don't like folding it, but I don't mind doing it. Like, throwing loads of laundry into the washer and then into the dryer doesn't really seem to bother
You're
me. But
hired. You're hired. There's a couple piles sitting right next to me if you want to throw those in when we're done.
um, but I wouldn't say there's any that I like enjoy. I know some people enjoy doing dishes, like your dad. He thinks it's like a meditative
Yeah.
thing, and I'm like, I mean, no.
Yeah. I don't, yeah, more power to him for
Yeah,
enjoying slightly doing the dishes, but no, thank you. I
yeah,
enjoy mowing the lawn. I think that's a common one
yeah.
I don't want to be sexist, but I think a lot of guys enjoy doing that. I don't know if it's, being able to see the progress of it, or I like watching the grass come shooting out the side too. So I don't know. That might just be. I also like playing with toys and machines. So anything that has a motor and makes some noise is fun for me, I guess.
Yeah, none of that is it for me. Oh my God.
All right. Let's see. What's one activity you would like to try? Something that you might push you out of your comfort zone, let's say.
Well, there's a lot of things that I would like to try. I've been snorkeling, but I would actually real life like to go scuba diving. Um, it terrifies me though, underwater with the machine that you're like relying on to help you breathe. I don't know. That kind of terrifies me. Um, Jumping out of an airplane, which you and I both talked about, not while kids are young.
Yeah.
Um, and then what we were supposed to do when we went ziplining, I really want to do that
Hang
too.
gliding.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your volume, maybe it's just me, your volume kind of went wonky on me. You're not covering up the microphone or anything. Okay.
No.
Maybe I'm just getting old and losing my hearing. I don't know.
Yep.
Yeah. Hang gliding would have been fun to do.
Yeah.
Um, but
Yeah.
another time. What makes you feel powerful?
Oh man.
I'll give you mine while you're thinking.
Okay.
As I was writing these down, I was kind of thinking about my answers. And we're putting you're in the spotlight today, but I'll chime in with my answer. I love creating things with my hands. So um, I just said something about using like machines and tools. So obviously using power tools included in that, but whether it's carpentry, which I'm not necessarily any good at stuff like this, or carpentry, or we had a hutch in our old house that I restained, like kind of refinished, restained. Um, just the process of figuring out how the heck to do it, because I have no experience. I was not taught a lot of it, but I'm a pretty quick learner, so I can pick it up if I pay attention and keep trying, and taking something and turning it into something entirely different. It's kind of like gardening, taking a seed and turning it into a giant plant that gives you food. So kind of creating stuff with my hands is what makes me feel powerful.
Hmm. I'm still stumped on that one.
All right, we can come back to that. If you had an extra $100 in your pocket, what would you do with it? You're not one of those people that just finds random stacks of cash in your pocket. I know. I know we know a couple of those, and it always boggles my brain. Like, I know where all my money is. But if you found $100 in your pocket,
I hate to say that I still do this, but I would save it.
yeah.
I mean, I know what you would do. And I want to say what you would do, like that I would do that.
What do you think I would do? What's that show where you're supposed to know all the answers for your spouse?
You would invest it.
Yeah. Yeah, I would.
You would
I think that
invest it.
for sure I would invest it in something that not mainstream, not the stock market,
Yeah.
not what everyone else is doing.
Yeah.
But I think and that would have been my answer, and I was going to say that if we twist the question a little bit, then, because I think the intention of the question was, maybe this wasn't the intention. I'm going to ask it this way anyways. I know you. You don't spend money on yourself. We'll go into a store and you'll see something you love and you'll take it off and you'll be like, honey, look at this. I love it, blah, 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 blah. And then you put it back on the, the rack and walk away. So I basically have to force you to buy things for yourself. So
Oh,
if
you asked me good questions to make me think of if I want stuff.
yes, yes. So I ask you, if you were to come back tomorrow and this was going to be, and this was gone, would you be disappointed? And if the answer is yes, then I tell you to buy it. If the answer is no, or I don't know, or any kind of indecision, then we move on and we can always come back.
Yeah.
But let's phrase the question this way. If you found $100 in your pocket and it was going to burn up in 60 minutes, how would you spend it on yourself? What would you had to spend it on yourself. You can't buy something for someone else. What would you spend $100 on for yourself? Did I just make it harder?
I mean, am I somewhere like specific? Like, am I just
No.
in the middle, like with
What gives you, when you're spending money, what gives you the most joy to spend it on? I kind of know, I think, what your answer might be.
Do you? Because I don't even know.
I feel like, so you and I have had, you're a terrible interviewee. I think we've had some conversations about experiences versus things.
Yeah.
So, trying to steer our kids' Christmas, holiday, birthday, whatever we're buying presents for, when possible, to steer towards experiences instead of things, because we have 4 kids, we have a giant house, but it's already full of things. And, when we look at the toys that our kids play with, it's like the same 3 toys and cardboard boxes and running around like maniacs outside. So they don't need more things.
No.
So yeah, I mean, a general answer of what I think you would do is probably experiences. So either put it towards like a night away for us or for yourself, or, like a really good meal. You like food. The way to your heart is through food, and the F word. Apparently, you love the F word. So yeah, like dinner, lunch, food, coffee,
Yeah.
a night
And
away.
also, like, if some kind of spa treatment, because that always
Yeah, a massage.
facial or detox something at a spa. Like, that's most likely what I am. Something that's good for me, which me. Like, I'm always excited. I was like, what kind of herb can I buy? What spa treatment or something like that?
Yeah, you were going in and out a little bit. So you're saying what kind of like some kind of herb, some kind of something healthy that
Something
would
good
help you?
that
Yeah.
would, yeah.
Yep. There's cats and people tearing around all over me. So, all right. Let's see. $100 in your pocket. We answer that. All right. Here's one. I already know the answer. I'm
Yes.
just gonna make you say it on live. Who's your celebrity crush?
And Tatum.
Channing Tatum.
Yeah.
That's see. I'm okay with that because I like him too.
I
He's
also, I also like Captain America.
yeah. I can't remember his
I
name.
don't remember his
He's
name either,
yeah.
but I like him too.
He's just a pretty face. No, I like Channing Tatum. I got to give you that. I got a little bit of a man crush on him. I don't necessarily want to be a stripper like him, but and I don't have the dance moves, but he seems like a really genuine, nice guy, down to earth guy.
Yeah.
We saw him on Running Wild with Bear Grylls, and he seems very authentic. So I can be down with that. Um,
Thank you for making me blush.
you're welcome. That's what I'm here for. What doesn't matter to you anymore? Something that used to matter to you that doesn't matter anymore.
um, I want to say this, and I'm still working on this, but what other people think of me.
Yeah.
I don't live my life according to the way the world wants me to live my life. And I try my hardest to be authentic and not hold with who I really am. Like, even when I'm posting or when I'm making videos, like, I'm making them from my heart and from what I truly think instead of putting on some kind of show or trying to be something that I'm not.
Yeah. And that's really hard.
Yeah.
I think, well, you said it. You said it well. You're still struggling with it. You
Mhm.
do what is important to you, but it still bothers you when that is different than what other people think it should be.
Yeah.
That's hard. I don't know that that's ever, well, maybe for some people that's easy. I don't know. I don't want to speak for other people, but that's very hard. My answer was going to be the one that came to mind for me was other people's definition of success. It
Hmm.
doesn't matter to me anymore, and it used to. And I set my goals thinking they were my goals, um, only to realize that they were society's opinions of what my goals should be. Other what I thought my parents thought my goal should be, and that
Hmm.
might have been totally wrong too. Other people that were important to me, even you, affected, things that you might want kind of got thrown into what I thought that I wanted, but it was really what I thought I should want, and it wasn't. And that kind of bit me in the butt. Hunting other people's goals only led me to burn myself out.
Yeah.
So that's what my answer was. Okay, so that's what doesn't matter to you anymore. So then what matters more now than ever?
I think for me, morals. Morals, being a kind human, I feel like it's just really, really lost in the world in general, but just each generation. It's just we're just a bunch of, like, I think people just thrown on the earth, just running around like crazy, and we don't even really know why we're here, or what the heck we're doing. Like,
Yeah.
and I know that I was one of those. Like, you asked me what my values were, and if I was living my life according to my values years ago, I would say, like, what do you
When
mean?
you, yeah, you wouldn't even know what your values are. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
So,
agree. That's part of growing up, though, right? It's just when you say growing up, you assume like teenager.
yeah.
When I say that's part of growing up, there are 75-year-olds still struggling with that.
Yeah.
There's no time period in which that has to happen. That's what makes you a grown up. I gotta help her.
Um, I that's very important for me right now, and it's very important for us to model being
Yeah.
a human to our kids so that they can see us and hopefully be good humans too. Um, and what that
Yeah.
means is being kind, showing up and being you, regardless of what other people think. Um, being humble, like always remembering where you came from. Like, I don't know, there's so much that can go into that. But I
Well, so yeah, what I would point out is it's interesting, and I'll give you my answer to this question too, because it will kind of mirror yours in this sense. The what doesn't matter anymore that used to matter to you was something external.
mm-hmm,
What other people thought for you. For
mm-hmm,
me, or what other people thought of you was your answer. For me, it was other people's definition of success. That those are both external.
yes,
And your answer for what matters more now is all internal.
yeah,
It's your thoughts, your inner compass, your morals is what you just said. My answer, also internal, um, is the legacy that I'm gonna leave,
yeah,
and not so much what other people are gonna think of me. But you mentioned our kids. That's a big piece of it. So my part of my purpose on this earth is there. I have a couple purposes. There's certainly things that I need to do for the world at large, but part of my purpose on this earth is our children, preparing them. Um, and can you go ask her to stop screaming, please? Nicely. You don't have to yell at her. Sending mom number one, I guess mom number two, your mom number one. Um, so part of the legacy thought is our kids, but also, you know that it's important to me, um, being a steward of the land, a steward of the earth, taking care of the planet that we're on. Um, Not so much, the global warming bandwagon, but in our own backyard. So, on our land, what can I do to make our land better than how it was when we got here?
yeah,
Um, that kind of thought process, making myself a better person so that the people who are around me are lifted up instead of dragged down. That,
yeah,
that's what I think of my legacy. How are people going to, how people feel when they're around me? Am I making other people better? Is my light shining, allowing them to shine their light too? Or am I squashing people? That kind of thing. So, that's what matters to me. Let's see what else we got. We're gonna run out of time, so let me see if there's any. What are you sensitive about?
I'm a pretty sensitive person. Um,
I don't know if this is what is meant by the question, but what's a little bit of a sore subject? What's meaning? We talked about Byron Katie's kind of line of thinking and logic and reasoning, where things that frustrate you and other people
mhm.
frustrate you because they frustrate you and yourself. So is there something that you're a little sensitive to? Like if I do something,
Mm.
is there anything that I do, and I'm not going to be offended? I'll just cry off screen. Uh, is there anything that I do that frustrates you, and you secretly know it frustrates you because you do it as well?
um, so I'm not saying this is about you, but I'm just saying in general, I know two things that if people do it, that it frustrates me, and I know I see it in myself, is lack of follow through. And I would like to say that I'm pretty good at follow through. Um, but if you say you're going to do something, then do
Yeah,
it. I really get really bothered when people say they're going to do stuff and they don't do it. And I know where that comes from in me. Like it definitely
yeah,
comes from childhood. Um, and I know that I do it, but I also know that I'm good when it comes to friends and clients. I know that I'm really good at doing the things I say I'm going to do. And that might be to a fault because sometimes I do it even when I shouldn't. Um, and then what was the other one? There was
when
one.
people forget things that they were saying.
Yeah, no. No, definitely not.
I'll give you, you want me to give you mine while you're thinking of your second one?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is something that I do with our kids, and you see me do. I get really frustrated with our kids when they are not when they so our four kids are all fantastic siblings to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, being human, it's not even kids. Being human, they have their moments where they're not great brother or sisters.
Mm-hmm.
I get really frustrated with them when they're not being a good brother or sister. My definition of a good, which is a whole nother,
And I don't like the word.
our definition of, yeah, I know you don't like the word good. Our definition of what is good is not always good. You know, we could go down that rabbit hole, but my point is I was a terrible big brother. Well, I was a terrible brother. I'm in the middle of three boys. I was not a good brother to either of my brothers for a long time. Um, I was in the beginning when I was really young, and then I like to think that I've really fixed a lot of this problem now. But in my teenage years and in the middle, I was not nice, especially to my younger brother, but to both my brothers. And so when I see that in our kids, it really bothers me. Not, I don't know, not so much because I feel like I'm not a good brother now, but because uh, I still regret the way that I treated my brothers
Mm-hmm.
as a kid. So I'm not, I'm a little bit quicker to get on our kids and when they're not treating each other. It's not so much arguing, but kind of like one of the older ones is tricking the younger ones into doing what they want. Stuff that I used to do,
Yeah.
and it really bothers me. Did you remember yours?
This one's fun because I can't seem to get this one, but I don't like people being late. I don't I don't understand that. And so it's like I don't do that. Like I am on time. I have a thing with being on time, being 10 minutes early.
Yeah.
Sometimes even earlier, which is way too early. But that really seems to bother me. I don't know if it's because it feels like disrespectful
Inconsiderate.
or yeah, inconsiderate, like you don't respect somebody else's time. And I know that's a lot of people. What I've learned over the years is it's just like the people that are like 10 minutes or 20 minutes late to everything, they don't even realize they don't
Yeah.
even realize that like affects the other person. And
Yeah,
it's
you're allowed to be late once in a while, but you're
yeah,
talking about the people who are like tell them the meeting is 20 minutes before it actually is so that they're on time.
yeah, that's always really bothered me. And I try over the years learning that different personality types
Yeah.
are the type that to be late, and I'm not that personality type, and knowing that like we're different and it's okay, because I just feel like attacked. I feel like if somebody is like consistently late with something that we have planned, I feel like it's like an fu, like I don't really
Yeah.
care
I
about
can
you.
see where that comes from. And
um
that and yeah, I can see where that comes from and I don't know if that's so much. I'm sure there are ways that that's reflected in you, but when people make you feel like they don't care, you specifically,
yeah,
Ashley, when people make Ashley feel like Ashley doesn't matter to them, that's a trigger from
yeah,
your childhood.
yeah,
And so it's not, it could be a reflection of you now, not to go armchair psychologist on you on Instagram, but
that
there's a lot of things there's a lot of things from your childhood where you didn't feel important that hurt you.
yeah,
Um, so I can see how that bothers you.
I'm
All
like
right,
you,
we're running.
as much. It's not as much anymore. And I've learned to like just be like, okay, Ashley, like it's not a big deal and people are different. And it maybe just because you like to be on time doesn't mean that is what everybody else likes. So
Yeah, we're running out of time. I'm
okay.
gonna I'm gonna try and squeeze in two really quick questions, so your answers have to be really quick. They go together. Um, what can you live without right now?
What would I
You
want to live without or what could I live without? Um,
Sure, however you want to take it. Sure. I mean, if you're looking at it as what do you want to get rid of? Whatever comes to mind. I'll give you my answer. What I could live without, what I do live without, and very happily live without is the news.
oh yeah,
And
for
I don't
sure.
need that crap. Pure
No,
negative.
yeah,
The sky is falling.
no.
what can you live without, or what would you prefer to live without? What do you want to get rid of if you want to look at it like that?
I mean, I would go with the news too. I don't even know why I didn't think of that. Like, it doesn't, I've never been a person that watched the news. And if I'm somewhere where the news is on, like for the 5, 10 minutes that I'm sitting there, I can just
Yeah, getting an oil change. Yeah,
feel anxiety. I can feel why people the news all the time are the way they are because
yeah.
it's, it's,
How can they not be? It's psychologically designed by experts to
yeah,
create a sense of fear. I would add not just the TV, but like headlines, stuff like that. Like obviously we need to stay up to date with some stuff, but you got to be careful where you. I know I need to be
social
careful
media.
where I get my information because if I'm not careful, stop screaming, please. If I'm not careful, I get sucked down a negative rabbit hole.
Yeah.
So the flip side of that quickly is what couldn't you live without?
I mean, I know in reality you couldn't live without this, but seriously, food. I love food. I love food.
Oh, okay. I thought you were just giving us like a, yeah, no kidding, lady. We
Yeah,
can't live without air either. I like breathing.
yeah, but
You're saying you're a foodie.
I'm a foodie and I love food.
Yeah,
And very healthy, and yet I still love food. I love
yeah.
all kinds of food, and
Yeah,
I
we
do.
drove past a food truck yesterday and we were on our way to dinner with my parents and I think you thought about stopping still.
I get very excited about like cool, not like food like chain restaurants, but like really cool, unique food
Yeah.
places. I'll eat
Yep.
and I'll try anything. I'll eat anything, and I love food, and it makes me excited, and all of that. So yes, I like
So
food.
like so next week you're gonna be trying snails and whatever other random mushrooms I can find outside. You know, you'll try it all on air.
I mean, I would try those funny things.
Yep.
Yeah, funny.
Don't eat the mushrooms from our backyard,
No,
please.
I'm not.
Okay. All right. On that note, that's all I got for you. We're running out of time, so let's call it.
Are we? Are we
Anything you want? What?
You keep saying we're running out of time. Are we going somewhere?
Well, it's been half an hour.
I know. I'm just kidding, honey. Just kidding.
I've reached my limit with your sassiness. I can't take any more, so I'm done.
Okay.
Is there anything? Was that a middle finger or was that? I don't.
No, it wasn't.
Is there anything else you want to say before we turn this off, or we'll just see you next week?
Yeah. We'll just see you next week.
All right, we'll see you next week, guys. Thanks for watching.